Welcome to Wobbly Woman TV. I'm Leeza Barrick, and on the couch with me today, I have the amazing David Lords, Flower Man. Actually, famous Flower Man.
Getting more famous, hopefully. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. And thanks for joining us on this wonderful, wonderful occasion. And you're probably thinking, what is a flower man? No, I'm not a florist. I'm not a florist. I'm not a botanist. I don't do gardening. I don't do anything. People think, what is a flower man?
What do you do, Dave?
Oh, God, crazy stuff. I do crazy stuff with flowers. I'm one of 4 people in the world that read flowers psychically for a full-time living. Isn't that crazy? I'd never in a million years would I've ever imagined that I would ever be in a scenario or a situation where I'd be pulling flowers out of paper bags, closing my eyes and telling people's fortunes and foibles and giving them guidance in their life strictly from the energy of a flower. Amazing stuff.
That is amazing. And I'm intrigued to find out how you arrived at this point, Dave, because I think there's so many people out there who are in corporate jobs, and you had a very successful corporate
Correct.
job working in the media industry. You actually help people create big businesses, very successful doing that. And you've given all that up to read flowers. Like, I'm not demeaning it. I think it's the most amazing experience, because I actually had a flower party last night, and I'll share that later on. But I want to know, Dave, what was the catalyst that moved you from living how most people live, regular job, good money, salary, to doing something so totally different and out of the norm? What was the catalyst? Why? Why are you reading flowers?
Excellent question, Leeza, and something I absolutely love sharing with people. For me, as it is for a lot of you people, maybe some of you lovely folk that are watching this, you might be able to relate to this. You might be watching with interest and hearing. But for me, it was I guess, a spiritual turnaround in my life. And it occurred for me around about 6 years ago. My life came crashing down, crumbling like a smouldering heap. I lost everything in my life. I lost my marriage, my house, my car, my business, my money, all within a 12-week period. Everything crashed and crumbled. And at the time I separated and got divorced from my wife, that's when the global financial crisis hit. So 2 weeks before Christmas in 2009, I was left with $37 in my wallet. And that was after a lifetime of having great success, of which you guys were a part of and saw all the things we had 16 years ago. Well, all of that was washed away in the flood, as I say. And so for me, I was brought to my knees. I was stripped to the bone. I'd lost everything that I thought was, every tangible thing that I thought was important. You see, I used to value everything as the type of car that I drove, where I lived, how much money I earned, the title, who I was in life. I used to think to myself, this is exactly what it is. This is what life's all about. How wrong was I? Because do you know what? All of those things that I once had that I worked so hard for just blew away with the wind. They were gone. And Spirit, the universe, just said, now, who are you? What are you left with? And do you know what? I actually now look back at this terrible, terrible time, this most painful, dramatic time in my life. I look back now and think, what a gorgeous gift from the universe it was. Because I had to face my demons. I had to face the most dreadful, dreadful time. I had to face the humility of losing everything, from being somebody who was a high flyer to being stripped away of everything. Lost the Mercedes cars, lost the flash homes, lost all the income, lost everything. And Spirit taught me then, it's like, well, what's left? Do you know what I had left? All I had left was the person staring back from the bathroom mirror. That's all I had left. And $37 in my wallet, a few clothes, to throw on my back, nothing else. No job, no business, no money to start a business. I've been self-employed for nearly 20 years, so I had nothing to go back on. So that's where I had to start.
You felt obviously your life was at a very low point. And were you feeling like what am I going to do now? What's my worth? What do I do now? What got you into reading flowers? God.
Quite an amazing story, Leeza. And I... Sorry. That's all right. I've got watches bipping here. Basically, for me, when you are brought to your knees, you are so desperately looking for something. It's like, well, what can I do? Do I have to go out and apply for a job? I thought, I don't want to apply for a job. I'm a free spirit. There's got to be something within me that I can delve into. And the funny thing was for me, It was my spiritual gift and talent. And 30 years ago, I'd been introduced to the beautiful art of psychically reading flowers for people via a lady that I'd met from Sydney.
But Dave, that wasn't really well known about you, was it?
No.
It was quite a private thing.
Oh,
you didn't
very.
really advertise that, did you?
No, I never did flower readings as a commercial thing. It was just something that I did for a few friends over barbecues and private gatherings with friends, just as a little bit of a family entertainment, I guess.
So not taken seriously?
Not taken seriously, because I didn't take it seriously, and I never thought in a million years it would be something that I could do as a serious business. Because I thought, what can I, read flowers for a living? Get out of here. And the crazy thing is, Leeza, and guys, this is what happened to me. A dear friend of mine on the Gold Coast knew the desperate situation that I was in. And she said to me one day, she said, I should get a group of friends together and you should do a couple of flower readings for us. And I said, look, I'm a little bit rusty and I haven't done flower readings for so long, and I was so depressed and so down. Yeah. I just thought, I can't sit around and do this. Anyway, she organised these people to come. And the funny thing was, when she organised these friends of hers to come over, I sat down there on the floor and everyone sat around, and I thought, this is not what I want to do. What are you doing here? But she said to me, David, you need to put some money in your pocket, at least just earn a little bit of cash until you can get back on your feet. So almost begrudgingly, I sat around on a Thursday night down in Currumbin Beach. I remember it so well. It was about, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. And anyway, I proceeded to do these flower readings for people. Oh my God, Leeza, it was just crazy what happened. Here I was feeling flat, depressed, and didn't really want to do it. All of a sudden, Spirit came through and delivered the most stunning messages to people. It blew me out of the water. It blew everyone out of the water. And basically what happened, I think we had about 8 or 9 people sitting around the lounge room. And out of that 8 or 9 people, at the end of the night, 3 ladies came over and said, can I have your business card, please? I want one of these for my friends. And went, what? Really? Are you serious?
And did it just grow from there?
Oh my God.
Couple had a party, another one
From
had a
that
party.
one party, which was nearly 4.5 years ago, I now have a massive business today. I mean, I just read for thousands of people every year. And it's just all started from that one party at Diana's.
That lesson to me is when you're feeling your lowest and you don't want to do anything, just have a go. Just
have a go, because truly when you are at your lowest, you know what? What's left?
Yeah.
What's left?
Yeah, you can only go up.
You can only go up. You can only go up. So when I was scraping the bottom of the barrel, I was virtually forced to go and look in the mirror. So who are you? Who are you? And you know what, guys? For the first time in the 51 years of my life, 50 years of my life back then, I had never taken the time to find out who I really was. I'd never taken the time to discover my gifts, my talents. I knew they were in there, and I knew I had a smattering of ability to be able to spiritually guide people and bring spirit through in a psychic sense, but I'd never practiced it as a full-time or as a serious thing.
Were you worried about what other people would think
Absolutely,
of you?
absolutely. I was so worried about what people thought. And I'll tell you why, guys. For a man in his early 50s, it's all about the pride. It's all about the pride of the title, who you are in life, what do you drive, where do you live. This is what we do in life. We try to pigeonhole people.
Being the provider.
The provider, you are the provider. Well, I felt like the biggest goddamn failure. I had failed my ex-wife. I had failed my daughter. I just thought after all the hard work and hard yakka, hard effort that we'd put into our life, it was all gone. We lost all the money. And you know what? I found it so hard to look my ex-wife and daughter in the eyes because I couldn't provide for them. And it was absolutely soul-destroying. And there are so many people that go through this, and I had the enormous privilege and honour of working on the biggest loser team for 2.5 years. And in that time, I can't tell you the number of men that would come in to see me privately and have some tuition with me who were absolutely broken men. These men were captains of industry. They were the CEOs and they were the high flyers. And one day they went to work and the job was gone. And when the job's gone, it's almost like they lost their identity. So who am I? What am I supposed to do now? And you know what? You are forced to look at yourself. And I always say to people, this is your biggest blessing. This is your biggest blessing. Have you ever heard of the Banksia flower, the story of the Banksia flower?
No.
The Banksia flower, of course, is an Australian bush flower, and I draw the analogy of my life to the Banksia flower because I'm a flower man. And when you look at the Banksia bush in Australia, when you look it up, you'll see that the Banksia relies on a bushfire to come through and destroy it so it releases its new seed to continue its life cycle. So if it is to prosper and grow, it must be destroyed by a bushfire so that it releases its new seed to continue its growth.
Oh, Dave, that's a beautiful analogy.
So the bushfire that destroyed me in my life 6 years ago was actually a great blessing in disguise, and it was something I needed.
Can I get a little bit personal with you?
No. Can you turn the camera off?
You're going to make me blush.
I'm gay, so don't panic, guys.
Well, this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk. This is Wobbly Woman, and you're my first man on Wobbly Woman. I think it's very apt that I have you on here. I want to talk about, you were married and you had a daughter, a beautiful daughter,
Absolutely.
a beautiful wife as well. And
That's right.
I want you to. You're telling us now you're a gay man.
Yes,
you were
absolutely.
Married, Dave, and you had a child.
Yes.
Can you tell us the
Absolutely.
story? Was that all part of you finding out
Yes.
who you are, or being true to yourself? And how did that story unfold? Your story is amazing.
Thank you, honey. It's been an amazing story. I was married to one of the most beautiful women that God ever put breath into. And to this day, thankfully, my ex-wife Leeza and I are just absolutely tremendous friends. We are really soulmates in so many ways. Leeza and I were married for 20 years. We were friends for 5 years prior to our marriage. So for 25 years, actually it's been quite a lot, it's almost 30 years now that we've been friends, we've known each other. And we have a beautiful daughter, Alexandra, who she's almost 21 years of age now. The girls live in Sydney, and of course I live here on the Gold Coast. But at the age of 46, Leeza, I knew within my heart that I'd known for a long time that I was a gay man. I knew that I'd been attracted to men for a very, very long time. And I'd had a couple of experiences with married men like myself, which I just knew in my heart of hearts that I was a gay man, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to face the fear of coming out.
On this journey with the family.
Correct. Yeah, and that's the frustrating thing, honey, because I had a wonderful life, as you well know. You were there at that stage, and I had a beautiful wife, a beautiful daughter. We had a beautiful life together. Like, we all almost had the Ken and Barbie style life. It was just like, those guys have got everything. And on the outside, we had everything, but on the inside, no. And, you know, truly, guys, this is something that so many people grapple with. Too many people look at what people are, what they dress in, where they live. They think that everything's great on the outside, but it ain't necessarily so. So for me, it became too much of a battle for me to endure. At the age of 46, that's when I came out and faced my truth, faced my absolution, I guess, with...
So with the business and all that, everything just all came out at
everything.
once.
It's just the timing of it all. In fact, I can tell you it was June the 3rd, 2007. That's at 11:15 p.m. on a Sunday night. Oh yeah, that's when it all came crashing down. So
what's involved in a flower party? What do you do at a flower party? What if people don't believe in spirit? What?
You can buy it at BWS. Basically, the flower parties are so much fun, Leeza, and I guess to answer the first part of the question is, what's a flower party? What's involved in it? Basically, the way that I conduct my flower reading parties, guys, is that I invite anything from 8, 9, 10 people along to a house, or you invite, a number of people along to your home. I come along as your guest psychic that visits your home, and I sit around, and each person brings a flower or a leaf or a piece of foliage from the tree, put it into a paper bag marked with a symbol or a number that only the person that owns the bag knows. And of course they pop it in the middle, and I sit down, I close my eyes, pick up a bag, open up the bag, and away we go. And my mouth starts to go, and I start to channel the energy of the person who has brought that bag along, or that flower along. And that's how I elicit my guidance from the universe to be able to deliver a psychic message to the person who's brought that along.
Dave, how do people react? How do people respond? I mean, obviously past or future might come up. How do people react with what you share?
Oh, Leeza, it is amazing how people react, because In my line of work, I do a little bit of everything. I do a little bit of psychic work. I do a little bit of mediumship, which means that sometimes people from spirit can come through, a loved one that has passed, a relative that has passed, your guides can come through. Other times there are things that come up about your personality. In fact, that's a very, very strong point in my readings, because basically I'm connecting with the diva essence energy. Not a diva, as in D-E-V-A, not D-I-V-A, take me to my trailer. It's the diva essence energy that is the beautiful, I guess they're the nature spirits that connect with nature. Then every flower, every tree, every bush on the planet has a diva essence energy spirit attached to it, which is almost like a guardian angel of that particular plant. And that's the diva essence energy that I connect with my guides. So that, along with your energy, your guides, and all of your connections, it connects in, and I become the spirit channeler for those messages.
Dave, you've told me that people would come to parties and say, I don't believe in this stuff.
Yep.
This is all a load of...
Very common.
You know? And yet, by the time they walk out, they're believers.
OMG, OMG, oh my God.
Yeah,
lots of
accurate,
OMGs.
So
it's incredibly
information,
very specific,
accurate.
very accurate. There are crazy things that come through that on the day may make no sense whatsoever, but through the course of time they do. After 30 years of conducting this beautiful work, I've just had hundreds, perhaps even thousands of recollections of stories and experiences and anecdotes of things.
I had the pleasure of experiencing a flower party last night with a beautiful group of friends, and I really didn't know what to expect. I've known you for a long time in a totally different capacity, you know, as a friend. I've never seen you in action, and I was blown away by like the way the information came through to you, and it was such a positive experience. It wasn't negative. It wasn't scary. I mean, I've had so many fears about death and, you know, losing my loved ones, and yet it was such a warming, beautiful feeling. And you didn't even know half. You know, my pop came through.
I know, that was beautiful.
I knew it. The things no one else could know. The things that you were saying. So, Dave, what's your intention with all this, with the flower parties?
My intention, Leeza, I guess, by introducing people to the work that I do and conducting all of these flower parties, which incidentally I conduct everywhere. I travel all around Australia, quite a lot around Australia, and just have the enormous privilege of working with people. My intention, Leeza, is nothing more than to bring a sense of betterment into people's lives, betterment about themselves, about their purpose, about their mission, give them some validation about their existence, give them some beautiful guidance from spirit, to be able to bring through perhaps reasons why they are on this planet. And this is why you are doing what you are doing. For me, it's led me to discover my Dharma. And a lot of people understand the word karma. Oh my God, we all understand the word karma. Ask people if they know about what Dharma is. And people go, I've never heard of Dharma. And Dharma is spelt D-H-A-R-M-A, and it's a Sanskrit word for life purpose. It's a beautiful spiritual wisdom in the sense of discovering one's life purpose. So I had to go through all of my dramas, all of my problems. I had to lose everything. I actually had to lose everything to gain everything.
Yeah.
And I've gained my Dharma, I've gained my life purpose. And to get to the crux of your question about where is it leading? Well, do you know what, Leeza? I don't know where it's leading. I don't know. I don't have a specific point as in it has to go here or it has to go here. I'm on a fascinating journey, as we all are. I'm just in the car whizzing along and stopping here and stopping there and but you know what? There's a road that leads somewhere. It doesn't mean that I have a meaningless existence. I've got very strong meaning. I've got purpose, and I've got lots of things that I enjoy doing. I have the enormous privilege of conducting live shows. I do lots of live shows, so that's part of what I love doing. I work with Amanda de Warren, who some of you may have heard of. Amanda is Australia's most famous animal communicator, and Amanda has a column in the Woman's Day magazine, which is very popular. So Amanda and I do these shows together called Dinner with Spirit, and we do shows in haunted hotels all around southeast Queensland and in Sydney. Oh my God, they are so much fun. And we always have sellout performances, and everyone has a fabulous time. Do you know what? In the 3 years now that we've been, 2.5 years, we've been conducting these shows, not one person has ever left that show saying, what a rubbish night, what a crap night. Everyone's walked out on a high saying, when's the next one?
See, Dave, this is what I wonder as well. Do you get negative people? Do you get people who just say this is all a load of shit? Or,
No.
you know, after they've experienced you or
No.
been with you?
No, actually, it's a really good point, because do you know what happens? People come along, yeah, bit of a skeptic, but yeah, I'll come along, yeah, I'll give it a go. No one walks out going, yeah, well, I'm still skeptical, that was rubbish, or that was crap. They go, how do you do that?
Yeah.
I've often had people saying to me, I still want to be skeptical, but I can't now. But, oh, you're rubbing against my grain. Like, how did you know? How did you know that about me? Or how did you know that about that person? And that's what's beautiful. And my agenda is simply this, Leeza. I don't have one. I don't have an agenda, except for one thing, to just bring laughter and joy and betterment into people's lives. And you know what? When I do that, every night when I go to bed, because this is all I do for a living now, every night when I go to bed, every day of the week, I rest my head on the pillow, close my eyes and think, you know what? I've done God's work today. I've done God's work today. I've brought joy into people's lives. It might be one person, it might be a dozen, it doesn't really matter, but every day I do that.
Dave, that's magical, really. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people out there who can truly say that. So this is my question. What about the people out there who aren't following their dharma?
Mm-hmm.
What about the people stuck in these 9-to-5 jobs, or they're feeling like they're being crushed inside by not living their passion and purpose? I mean, what do you say to most people out there who want to follow their dharma, but they're not? How do you do it, Dave? I know you're saying just let go, you let go, and, you know, it will all evolve as it is. I mean, you've had catalysts and things, but what do you say to people who want to follow their passion and purpose, but for whatever reason they're not?
That is a damn good question. And you know what? In some ways, it's a bit of a curly one. It's a bit difficult, because for me, I only discovered my dharma by losing everything. So I actually didn't choose. I didn't choose to jump from this ship into that. It was brought to me, because for me, in the initial stages, it was just a matter of survival, just to put some money in my pocket, just to start something. But it's just, whoa, this is what I've been waiting for. Because the funny thing was, I actually wrote down a list to the universe. I'm very, very big on writing lists to the universe to manifest. And I actually remember writing down a list that I wanted in a business. I wanted a business based at home. I wanted a cash flow business. I wanted people business. I wanted to be able to take a business around the world. I wanted to live out of a briefcase. I described everything that I'm doing now without realizing that's what it was. So it's like, oh my God, I actually got what I asked for. I got what I wished for. So just to answer the question about what do you do? If you're sitting there watching me now, watching Leeza and I, thinking, well, how do I do this? What do I do? Well, look, let's be honest. Let's say, for example, that you are inside you are a singer that's waiting to get out. You're an artist. I've got to get my stuff out, but I'm stuck in this job. I hate it. We've all got responsibilities. We've all got most of us have got mortgages. Some of us have got families and mouths to feed and all those financial responsibilities. And it's hard to make that transition. And guess what? Let's face the fact. You can't do it in a snap. You can't just walk away and do that. Not unless you've got a good, strong financial backing. But there's one thing that you can do. You can start putting your energy towards that you so desire. So, for example, if you are a budding artist and you'd like to be an artist, the first thing that you've got to do, my friend, is believe in you. Believe that your art is worthy. If you're a singer or a songwriter, believe that your singing and your songwriting is worthy. Because if you don't believe it's worthy, you will not put the energy around that's going to take you on that journey towards that you'd like it to develop into. So, what you have to do is take those first initial steps. So if you're an artist, blow all the dust off, pull it out from under the garage and, take the canvas off it. So take the cover off it, pull the canvas out, get the paints out, get the brush, start painting. And you know what? You could perhaps ring a gallery in the course of time or put on a little private show for some of your friends. If you've got children, put a thing up at school, put up a little notice board. I'm having a little private show at my home for some artwork. These are the things. Yes, it's not enough to be able to get out of the job that you hate, but it's starting. And you know what? Put the energy of belief into whatever it is that you would like to do as your full-time thing. Discovering your dharma. And I'm telling you guys, the universe will come in and support you. It never fails.
Dave, that's great advice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
I don't know what else to say after that.
You got nothing else to say? I have.
Look, I want to thank you, Dave. You have been an inspiration to me.
Thank you.
Before you were the flower man, you know, just the person who you were. I saw who you were before you were the flower
Thank you,
man.
darling.
But now
Thank
it's
you.
like I'm so proud of you and I'm so happy for you that your life has unfolded how it's meant to be. And you're really a truly inspiring man. And I hope
Thank
our
you.
listeners and our viewers, you know, take something away from today to help them to live their life with passion and purpose.
Thank you so much, Leeza, and it has been my thrill, honour and privilege to be invited up here this weekend to see you guys and to meet the most amazingly beautiful bunch of people here that I did last night with you. We had lots of flower reading fun. People were blown away with their messages that they received. And in closing, I'd like to share a little something too.
Okay.
And this is the way that I like to close it up with you, my dear friends. Thanks for coming along and or sitting down and having a listen to us. But remember one thing, each and every day when we wake up with a blank canvas. The canvas is blank. And you know, we have a choice as to what we paint on that canvas every single day. We can paint the same colours and the same pictures as we've been doing all our life, or we can choose a new brush. We can choose a new colour, and we can choose a new scene that we'd like to paint, and we can bring some more brightness in there if we like. So the analogy that I like to draw about life is that each and every day we can paint a new picture. So I'm going to put you up to the challenge. I would like you to consider that within inside of your life, there's a Picasso that's waiting to come out. So guess what you can do? In a metaphoric way, if you would like to change your life, why not go down to Bunnings today, get yourself a new canvas, get yourself a new easel, some new brushes, some new paints, and then guess what you do? You go ahead and paint your life into a brand new living masterpiece, just like Picasso. God bless you and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Mwah.
I just want to say one more thing because I want another cuddle. How can people find you, Dave? How can people find you? If they want to contact you for a flower party for a private reading or to go along to your workshops and shows, how can we find you?
Fantastic. You can call my office. You can call my beautiful assistant, Louise, on 0481 598 520, or you can email flower readings, all lowercase one word, flowerreadings@gmail.com. Or you can jump onto Facebook and you can just look me up under David Laws, Laws. You'll see a photo of me on the beach with the word bliss written in the sand, which I did on the cruise last year. I wrote the word bliss in the sand as I took a photo. I thought, oh, that's a good Facebook site post. So that's where you can reach me. I'm available for private readings on the Gold Coast, or I do travel for group sessions like I've done this weekend up on the Sunshine Coast. And yeah, if you'd like to contact my office and my lovely assistants, they'll give you all the details of how to book and how to arrange a party.
Thanks,
and would you
Dave.
recommend it?
Oh, they're awesome!
So much fun.
It's amazing. And he's so funny. It's humour with spirit.
Who am I? Who am I?
Yeah,
Who am I?
the flower
No.
What?
Who am I? The switchboard operator?
Oh, God. Come on, hang on.
Okay.
I'm going to cut this. Hang on. Dave is the bitch on the switch.
I playfully refer to myself as the switchboard operator between the universe and you. So being gay, I call myself the bitch on the switch.
All right, another cuddle.
You're right.
Thank you.
Oh, God bless you guys. Thank you. Bye.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side.
Because I've always had big bloody boobs.
And take one.
So, Dave, what are your special gifts?
Well, Leeza,
Sorry, Dave.
No.
Just stop there. Okay. Can I say that again?
Go.
I'll just cut that.
That was it.